everyone. Today we are going to see the little bit basics of the chemistry. So this one that you already studied in your 11th class, the title of the topic is some basic concepts in chemistry. But these are the things but we know, but to refresh the basics, so we have to get to know a little bit things. So matter is nothing but everything around us is made up of matter has a certain space, and also it has certain mass. Anything that occupies the space and mass is known as the matter. So the universe is made up of matter and energy. So we classify matter chemically. So physically we classify the matter into solids, liquid, gases and plasma. So that is the fourth state. But chemically we classify matter into pure substances and mixtures. So pure substances means they'll be made up of a fixed proportion of either atoms or a mixture of atoms. Okay. So the pure substances is further divided into elements and compounds. Mixtures are further divided into homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Okay. So in the pure substance category, elements are further categorized into three types. So we have in our periodic table, there are 118 elements. Those 118 elements will come under the category of metals, non-metals and metalloids. And compounds, based on whether they are made up of carbon and hydrogen and their derivatives, they are known as organic compounds, or other than that carbon, hydrogen and compounds are they are called inorganic compounds. For example, made up of metals, minerals and so on, those are the inorganic compounds and complexes. So mixtures, homogeneous, they are there is no like homogeneous mixtures. You have a mixture of atoms or compounds. Their composition is very uniform throughout. But in the case of heterogeneous mixture, you will not find the composition or the concentration is not uniform. For example, homogeneous mixture, air. So in air we have N2, O2 and other gases. They are mixed properly, so you will get a homogeneous mixture. Okay, so you will not in the mixture, you cannot if you take like 1 liter of that portion, you can spot the composition of nitrogen maybe 70 and oxygen maybe in the 20, the remaining gases are the other 10% maybe. Not just telling the exactly, I'm just telling for example. In the case of heterogeneous, for example, if I am adding the coconut oil and water, there will be a separate boundary which separates this is coconut oil, this is water. Okay, so if you find the boundary between the two different components or more than two different components, they are known as the heterogeneous mixture. But in the homogeneous mixture, you will not find any boundaries. They are mixed together, okay, and they have the uniform composition. For example, even this when we wear the gold ornaments, so what they say 916. So 916% you will have gold. The remaining percentage they might add copper or some cadmium elements. Okay, so to make the gold flexibility. So if you take that old gold ornament, any part if you take and analyze it, the composition will be fixed because it's a homogeneous mixture. What they do is they'll melt the gold and they'll melt the copper and other metals, and then when they mix it will form a homogeneous mixture. Even you can say take water and salt. So when you are mixing it properly, once the solution you get, it is uniform throughout. You cannot separate the salt from the water until you are evaporating. Okay, so it will form a homogeneous mixture. By adding two different components, you will get a uniform concentration mixture is known as a homogeneous mixture. So hope you understood. In this thing, elements is further we can talk about like they are made up of atoms. Atoms are the smallest part of the element or the matter we know. So when you divide this atom further, you will get the three fundamental particles. In physics they will talk about more fundamental, but in chemistry we stop up to electrons, protons and neutrons. Okay, so atom, these are the three fundamental particles. If the two or more atoms combine together in a fixed mass by ratio, you will get the compounds. Okay, so in elements you will have same type of atoms, but in the compounds you will get a same type of atom or more than two types of atoms. They will combine together and form the compounds. For example, carbon and oxygen, if they mix together, they'll form a carbon monoxide. Here carbon mass is 12 and oxygen is 16. So 12 is 16. It is 3 4s are 12, 4 4. So 3:4 ratio. It is same in the case of carbon dioxide. What it does is O2 in the molecular form. This is in the atomic form. It forms CO2. Here 12, 32. So 12:32. 3:8. So carbon has a certain 3 parts of its mass. It always contributes to the oxygen, but this oxygen, in the first case it gave the half of its 8 amount. In the second it gave the 1 times the 8 of its mass. So this comes under the category of law of multiple proportion. Okay, so in this way, always if you see that carbon always combines, it always contributes 3 of its mass. Even if you take when you burn the carbon with the hydrogen, 2 molecules of hydrogen, it forms methane. So 12 here, 4 times the hydrogen. Okay, 2 into 2. Here 12:4. So 3:1 ratio. So whether it forms the carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide or methane, carbon always contributed 3 of its mass to the other element. So this is law of definite proportion. But here oxygen, when as a carbon has a multiple valency, so it always gives the mass in the multiples of its mass. Okay, so here it gave the half of its 8 parts, so that's why it's a 4. Here it's a 1 times the 8, so it formed a carbon dioxide. So based on that we'll get the compound. So that's why we call 2 or more atoms combine together in a fixed mass by ratio and form the compounds. Okay, hope you understood this video. Thank you.